Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to welcome you all for our next session of knowledge sharing, which is being conducted by SolutionBuggy in association with MSMEDI and NMSME. The event, as you all know, is Food Pro Mega Summit 2022. It's a mega food summit that will be held for 5 days across 10 sessions, starting from yesterday until 18th October. The topic for today's session is market potential of food, fruits and vegetables processing industry. So where we basically talk about what is the opportunities in this sector and also maybe hint a few pitfalls which the entrepreneur can avoid, and what are the marketing opportunities right from the help from the government, as well as what are the the government related subsidies that you can get for these events. Now, before I start, a quick introduction to SolutionBuggy. We are an online platform to connect the manufacturing industries with the experts. We can proudly say that today we are India's largest platform for the MSME sector. We have about 10,000 experts on the platform, and over the last 6 years, I think we have completed more than 2,300 projects, especially in the food and beverage sector. So with this introduction, I'm Guru Prasad Bangle. I'm director at SolutionBuggy. I have about 20 plus years of experience in consulting. I head the technology division here, and also I look after the projects in food and beverage at SolutionBuggy. I would also like to thank all the associate sponsors for this event. And today I have some stellar speakers with me. The first two have already joined. The third one is unfortunately having a travel that has come up. So, but he will join us by about 4 p.m. So first of all, I have Mr. Gaurav Garg, who is the co-founder and CEO of Leela Ram, which is a food processing consultancy firm based in North India. He has a combined experience of 160 plus years in his food processing firm, wherein they help entrepreneurs and startups in greenfield and brownfield projects. He's a seasoned professional with about 17 plus years of experience. He's studied wine marketing at France and has an MBA in international business and marketing from Pune and France. We welcome you, Mr. Gaurav.
Thank you.
Next, I have Mr. Santosh Shankar. He is a food technologist, has about 22 plus years of experience in the food processing industry. The good part is he's also part of the government in some sense, as in he's currently the project head of PMFME scheme from Varanasi district and working with the horticultural department. We welcome you, Santosh.
Hello, everyone.
The next person whom I said will be joining us very shortly is Dr. Ramesh Mittal. He is the director at NIAM, Jaipur. NIAM is basically the National Institute of Agricultural Marketing, has about 30 plus years of experience at national and international level, including private sector companies, government and semi-government organizations. He's worked as a trainer, faculty, researcher, and a consultant. His domain expertise are mostly into marketing, entrepreneurship, and agriculture-based marketing. He has written more than 100 research papers and articles, and also had 4 books under his name. He's also hosted about 6 live talk shows on Doordarshan. So with that, I think I will throw open this session and ask Mr. Gaurav to take over and walk us through his presentation. Over to you, Mr. Gaurav.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Gaurav this side. So I'll be briefly taking you through the agenda which we have today, which is the market size for fruits and vegetables. What are the factors which are driving the market? The advantages of starting a fruit and vegetable processing industry in India. The checklist and roadmap to start this industry. And during the course of this, we also covered some important machines. So though the time is limited, we will quickly run through the topics. So coming to the market size, the Indian food industry, as we say, is poised to grow at $535 billion by 2025 with a CAGR of 11%. Now, India ranks two in the world, as a second in the world in terms of the fruits and vegetables, and has a good arable land of 160 million hectares. Even though out of having so much of fruits and vegetables which are grown in our country, we are merely doing processing of fruits to a tune of 4.5% only, and when it comes to vegetable, it is only 2.7%. So that's pretty low. Some data which we have for India's exports. So these are some of the fruits and vegetables along with other pulses which we mentioned here in terms of the quantum of sales which is done abroad. So if you see, even though mango pulp might be less than the processed vegetable, but a product itself, mango pulp is so huge. It's close to 1 billion, 924 crores. Processed vegetables, which is combined all different forms of packaged food, close to 4,000 crore. Cucumber and jerkins, this is again a very interesting product. Most of you might have not seen or come across, when it comes. So this is, I would like to share, this is what is jerkin, So this is exported in a huge volume again. Then processed fruits, juices, nuts, close to 3,500 crore. Similarly, we look at other, fruits and vegetables. Again, cocoa powder, which is again through a seed, is to the tune of 1,100 crore. Jaggery through again sugarcane, around 2,700 crores. Same if you look at groundnuts, it comes again in fruits and nuts. I would look at it at 4,700 crores. So the total quantum of exports is 41,460.06 crores. It's a huge number which we have, but still there's a long way to go. Based on the number of vegetables and fruits which are processed, we can still do wonders. We can still do better, right? Coming to the factors which are driving the market for fruits and vegetables.
Gaurav, you can go a little bit slow.
Okay. So what are the factors, which are driving this packaged food industry or the processed food industry? The fast-paced life, everybody, in every house, they do not have time left for cooking. Most of the household have two hands working, as we say, both men and women, both have started working. So that gives further less, time for them to cook or enjoy a home cooked meal, right? Some might have, cooks at home or maids at home who still do the cooking, but still cannot enjoy the, level of taste, texture, quality which they used to have from the home member who is cooking again. Disposable income, we all know that, with the advent of a lot of these IT companies, ITS, BPO, KPO, LPOs, have given rise to, huge jobs. At the same time, it has also given them huge salaries. And nowadays, last 5 years, what we are seeing, the salaries have gone, to crazy figures when it comes to even starters who are starting a salary of 2.5, 3 lakhs. So there is a 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs salary to 1 crore. So depending on that, they always need fast food, right? They need food which they can always processed food which they can buy on the go. Then, of course, the current public are more and more becoming aware, conscious to the tune that what food they're eating, how is their health. So again, it gives scope for more of a hygienic food, more healthier food. And nowadays, even processors are aware of this, and the ones who are making the first move have an advantage over it. As we say, good infrastructure gives access to people traveling from intercity. At the same time, there is chaos on roads. There are huge traffics. So people spend time. For those like who are in Delhi NCR, who are in Bangalore, Koramangala, they know what it takes when you need to travel from office to home or back. Likewise, similarly, even they can travel multi-city, but that adds to traffic. So again, they kill most of the time in traveling, which is very unproductive. They need something on the go, something to munch, something to eat or drink, which is healthy. Then there is substantial number of people traveling abroad for both work and pleasure. So they all need food to carry. There are people who are Jain, who Gujaratis. They do not eat non-veg. They do not eat outside food. Even Gujaratis, if I speak, most of our known friends, family members, they carry huge quantity of food with them even for a month if they're traveling. So they would have khakra, thepla, papad, what have you, and their chutneys. Every Gujarati, every city in Gujarat has their respective chutney, have their respective flavor of ice cream, have their respective farsan. You cannot say it's a standardized Gujarati namkeen. No. Rajkot will have different, Ahmedabad will have different, Surat will have different, and likewise, which is not true for us. Yeah, we can go and say it's a North Indian snack or a South Indian snack or a murukku in South, down South, right? So it varies here. Similarly, the e-commerce, the outburst of this quick commerce, 10-minute delivery, 8-minute delivery, 20-minute delivery to e-commerce, which is, through online sales, apps, through all the Flipkarts, Amazon, and various other sites like LBB who have come on board and who was doing brisk business, good business. And even people are starting their own websites, right? They're coming up with their own, e-commerce links wherein consumers can buy through social handles like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They can go and search on Google, they will come across a product, right? So these are the factors which are driving the food industry in the process segment. Coming to digitalization, like we said, both buyers and sellers, you don't need to be in the brick and mortar that you need to have a dealer, distributor, super stockist. Yes, that is still there. But then there is something which is also called visibility. If I have a requirement of a particular product and I do Google, you will immediately get to know who is manufacturing or who is selling. And it's like IndiaMart of the likes, they have created such a good platform wherein buyers are registered, the sellers are registered, and all can get to know. Just dial. So you can get to know if you have a very specific requirement. Unless it's a kind of a hazy requirement, it will be difficult. I do not omit or discount the people who are sitting on the other side of the table who are answering your calls for requirement. Yes, there is a gap, but still it is doable. Then products are highly customized. If you have a sizable quantity or a sizable amount, you can still get a customized product being made for you, which we'll see on based on the various technologies which I have given a glimpse in the coming slides. Access to more hygienic fruits and vegetables. So it is again partially processed, semi-processed, or complete processed, whether it's cold processed or hot processed. You still have hygienic food available. Yes, we cannot omit again the oil and spice which goes into a lot of savory and namkeen. We cannot avoid a lot of additives, preservatives which goes, but then still there's a demand and there's a segment for every kind of customer. A lot of FDI penetration has happened in India and still going to increase. So that gives more and more international companies to come up, set their shops, set their factories, set their processing in India. We have come across a lot of companies from Belgium in the potato processing who has come in Bijnor. We have seen a lot of companies who have come in Punjab, who are from the UK, who are into a lot of canned-based products, sauces, purees, paste, and likewise. A lot of Indian-based companies whom we have been known for ages as RTE company has been acquired, so we don't want to spell the name. We all know are in this space that a lot of M&A happens in this space, right? Similarly, post-COVID and even pre-COVID, those who were big multinationals or even Indian companies realized the importance of a factory running based on labor, which is highly labor intensive, to those which is mechanized, highly automated, right from receiving of the raw material till the fag end of the packaging and dispatched in the vehicles. So there are companies who have done dispatches in COVID with just 3 people to the tune of 30 crore. Imagine in a real sense what 30 crores in 3 days means of dispatch. It's not doable, right? Till you don't have put a setup which is highly automated. And if you look at the economics, the cost of conversion will only come through automation. On one hand, we want employment. The government wants employment. India needs jobs. People at every city, state want to give jobs. But at the same time, the hygiene factor will only come with less human intervention. So that's why automation is really, really important. Then, of course, there is always the new R&D happening, which is giving rise to more tastier and, food which is having better quality than previous ones. Because now people have realized that even quality and taste food can come with hygiene, can come with, consistency in the taste. One can rely that, okay, I eat a MACD, I know what it is taste. So every other store will taste the same. So that's central kitchen. If you think, people who do not have central kitchen will taste the same, no. And if they start franchisee or want to look at growing in the franchisee concept in food processing, whether packaged or takeaway, again, this is going to be a challenge. So it has to be uniform, consistent. Similarly, reliability, as we said. So if there is a finished good, which can become a raw material to another industry, again, has to be dependent. So we will share some of the things which we assume that some finished good for a company can become a raw material for another company, right? So it has to be reliable. It has to be consistent with the taste, texture, pricing, the starch level, the sugar level, and so many things, so that can be used and implemented for making something else. Like, here in case, I have with me a tomato paste. This is a puree, okay? If you have to be going to a restaurant and you want to order something which is, say, a baked bean in tomato sauce or something like that, do you think he's going to start with cleaning of tomato, washing with tomato, peeling, cutting, slicing, and cooking? No, we want instant food, right? This is tomato paste, not a ketchup. Okay, so products exist globally. It's all about who brings in India. We have a sauce entered in India through one or two companies. But what about a chili chutney or a garlic paste coming in this tube, which is a paste? Doable, right? So it's all invention, innovation through packaging or creation, but the product has to be tasty. The coming to the sports nutrition. So more and more people are getting into the sports as a career or sports as a habit or sports as a daily routine. They need nutrition. They look for something which is more functional, which can either help them to gain muscle mass or lose weight, or similarly get proteins or energy. So there are different segments. We have seen outburst of peanut butter nowadays. Every other company is venturing into peanut butter, right? So there's a huge segment. A lot of herbs, Ayurvedic and other extracts are coming, which are going into drinks, going into different products, which are all nutritional based products. Coming to a typical scenario when we used to have our old grandmothers, Dadima or Nanima, who used to cook, give those, age-old decades of, recipe, are dying because, probably they're not there with us today, or probably the culture has changed. So now this thing exists, which an entrepreneur can pick up, develop the same recipe or even better, but at the same time provide it to masses rather than only a household of 4 or 6 or 10 or 2. So if you can bring me a South Indian, say, a particular chutney which is not made here in North, or similarly what is made in West goes into other zones, nothing like it. I can enjoy at the cost which is at a home cost, but at the same time available, convenience of being able to buy and eat, right? More and more products are moving from what used to be fresh cook to RTC, which is called ready to cook, wherein you have to do a lot of cooking. Even a gravy is a RTC, a premix is a RTC. The RTC used to be cooked, and then it is being served to a consumer. Here, ready to eat. Again, ready to eat, I would like to throw some light. There's a big misconception on what is ready to eat. Ready to eat is you tear open and eat. That's RTE. If you do anything which is other than tear and eat, it's not RT. Heat and eat, you have a freeze-dried product, you have a bowl which you eat in flights, you pour water, that's pour and eat, heat and eat, fair. Okay, that's where the people are moving. There is still some segment of products in RTC like gulab jamun mix, because it's difficult to get, some idli mix, some vada mix. But then, yes, the convenience is what is taking up. So let us move to the convenience more. The advantages of starting a fruit and vegetable industry in India. Coming to the plants and machinery. So gone are those days when you were not having access to, the state of the art machinery from various, fabricators or machine manufacturers, be it, different states of India, to coming from Europe, USA, Taiwan, or China. The COVID has given a different perspective, a different approach towards the manufacturers in Southeast Asia. But yes, there are still people who are buying certain equipments which are best made there. There is no substitute, or when it comes to costing, you cannot match that. There are certain metallurgy which you cannot match in packaging when it comes to Taiwan. Okay, when you look at certain machinery, there are only 1 or 2 suppliers. There is no option. There is no localization. But then, yes, what is the important question? Is automation also available? Yes. Is serviceability available to those machinery? Yes. Can your people be trained on this? Yes. Can people remotely help you with installation commissioning? Yes. Earlier, this was not possible. Thanks to internet, thanks to Zoom, thanks to WebEx, and thanks to similar such platforms and apps which has come handy, right? Thanks to the 5G which has been launched today. Okay. Coming to the fruits and vegetable, again, we have, India is the largest producer of many fruits and vegetables. We've already discussed. A lot of tons of fruits and vegetables are thrown away, which we do not even sell as a farmer. We do not buy as a table variety at home. We do not buy at mandis. The farmers are just throwing away on food. लोग बोलते प्याज आंसू रुलाता है, हर vegetable ने रुलाया है. It's not true for onion alone. Ask a processor. Ask somebody what is the rate of a lemon. Ask what is the rate of a mango. Ask what is the rate of a potato, and you will get.
नहीं, एक और चीज है. कभी-कभी प्याज कंज्यूमर के आंखों में आंसू लाता है, कभी-कभी फार्मर के आंखों में आंसू लाता है.
Sir, ये हमेशा होता रहेगा, because till we don't realize that how to tap this glut market, nothing will happen. So there is a huge glut. It's like a mutual fund. I'll give example of mutual fund in food processing. The way we average out from buying a SIP every month, and therefore the annual mutual fund grows. Likewise, what we buy a raw material every month helps us in getting a standard price for a year. And when it goes for a glut, that is the time you should buy. अच्छे लोग, good investors, good manufacturers, good entrepreneurs, good companies make this mistake of not buying at the right time, not having funds at the right time, not being able to take a decision on the right time, or at times buying more than required, more what you can chew, more what you can store, and that goes for spoilage, pilferage, and so many other stuff. Cold में खराब हो रहा है, dry storage में खराब हो रहा है, transit में खराब हो रहा है, heat losses हो रही है. So one has to plan it meticulously based on your requirement and industry, but at the same time safeguard your average price. If you do this, farmer will get a better price. So high and fixed earning for a farmer. Of course, I'm not saying farmers will be dependent on you, or farmers you can rely on that this is the rate you can buy. No, I respect farmers. We respect as Indians who are manufacturers to farmers, but then they will only sell wherever they get a high price. So let's be practical enough that this will always happen. But then yes, if your payments are on time to the farmers, if you do not take products on credit quite often, they will be happy to give you, and they can even go for backward integration with you. Companies like Sahyadri Farms in Nashik, Varun Agro in Nashik, and there are many such companies which we can give examples. They have gone for backward integration. Processing was their forte. They went backward, gave the seed. They gave seed for potato. Similarly, likewise, a lot of companies are giving seeds of tomato, potato, onion, which farmers can grow the right variety. It's not आलू मतलब आलू नहीं, 200 variety होती है, mango में 400 variety होती है. Likewise, there are so many varieties. Not every product is the same when it goes for processing. Table variety potatoes are different, table variety onions are separate. So likewise, you have to understand this. Coming to water, you will be surprised to know there are countries who do not have proper farming because of the scarcity of water. The Middle East, 99% is imported. हमारे पास का देश है, near to our country, good relationship with India. Why cannot we take advantage of it? They need everything from us if we can cater to. But yes, it has to be the right taste, the right texture, the right quality in the food they're looking at. Something which we might not be manufacturing. Can we make it? Look at this as an opportunity. Government support. So we all know there are different kinds of government support, right from subsidy at a central level. These are essentially good for those who are large-scale manufacturers, large-scale entrepreneurs who are coming with investments starting in crores and upwards. Minimum requirement 3-4 crores to goes up to 150 crores. The more investment you're doing, the better you are eligible for a central scheme, which is MOFP scheme. There are 8 schemes available in this. Coming to the various plug-and-pay opportunity, which was not existing earlier, close to 68 agro-processing clusters exist in India. Okay, which has a criteria of 5 units, you should have 5 or more. There are close to 41 mega food parks, which says you should have at least 25-30 units in that, which has all pre-processed facility like dry storage, cold storage, some packaging machines, some area for effluent treatment plant, some overhead water tank, some units which are carved out in terms of spaces. So make use of it if you don't have land and you want to go for rental. Except that the distance from your city or downtown would be different from what it is located at, because it is always going to be at a remote distance, but still it gives faster time for you to go to market. There are a lot of state schemes which exist. There are a lot of cheap loans which are available through various schemes one can look at. There are tax holidays. There are reduced electricity charges in some states. There are DGFT benefits. If you buy imported machinery, you get some advantage that since you are buying, you get discounted on the import duty. And then when you start exporting, it's kind of knocked off against each other. So there are various benefits which one can look at. The India advantage, the raw material, the cheap labor. The drawback of population is going to help you in getting cheap labor. Of course, I'm talking automation on one hand, but wherever required, even for small scale, you cannot go automation immediately. The biggies, the brands which we have all bought their products, consumed, eaten, seen, or have heard, they have not automized. Not all have automized. They have realized in COVID time that yes, Had we started automizing or had we going to go for mechanization, this 35% labor solution or problem could have been catered to. They all got a hit. People bought, have kept reserves, hedges those food products, brought any brand. Believe me, any brand of canned products, any brand of Tetra Pak was bought because they don't know what is going to happen. What is going to happen to supply chain? Milk, which goes to every house for the old, the elderly, who eat tea, who take tea, take milk, or who take coffee. Milk was thrown 20% what was produced because the chillers, the cooling tanks was not available. It was all exhausted. Transportation was long. Coming to the various climate advantage, people say there are seasons for vegetables, but then of course you can take advantage of some season for a particular state. You can get that, procure that as a raw material. Some you can get from different city or state, because nowadays the infrastructure is good, transportation cost is definitely there, but still the valuation which you do is much higher. Likewise, you have GI tagged fruits and vegetables, which are gaining advantage, a global acceptance. Make use of that, process it in different forms. We have already mentioned crops available from different seasons, from different regions, access to the respective technical support available through, the best people in the industry. Don't become your own doctor. When you go for surgery, do you go and start going to interact with the machine manufacturers? कि साहब ये chair कहाँ से मिलती है, ये dental chair है, ये knife कहाँ मिलता है? Do you go ever? Why do you go to machine manufacturer in first place? The very wrong thing which we have seen, which happens, and then people try and come and teach the expert that this is the machine. If you have bought the machine, tell them I have bought the machine, process in this, fair. But if you want to compare your product from A to B, you cannot get a 4 lakh machine to get a product out of a 40 crore machine. No, Mercedes lab mein nahi ban sakti. You require the right setup, the right infra, the right people, the right costing, the right conveying, and the right packaging. Of course, coming to the informed consumer, which we have all become today, and more people becoming aware, we have various consumer segments. So everybody knows what they want, what they are looking for in terms of consuming. Increased demand to RT, heat and eat based products. So that is the way forward. We should all be targeting more and more towards this segments. More nutritious supplements based products, healthy and more munching foods, which are again more healthier. Of course, there is a still segment, as we say, that there is a market for those spicy and unhealthy. But then you look at the PLI scheme, take out a list and see who are the people with 500 crore and more turnover. You'll get to know. So there's a market for everybody. Yeah, you have to see either you're very passionate to sell, you're passionate to provide healthy, or you want to make profit. So you need to be very clear your first goal. मैं करना क्या चाहता हूँ? I am there for money, so be it. I'm there for quality, so maintain quality. Don't start into chains. Don't start into starting more factories, more branches. You will be diluting your quality. Increase the capacity at the same place. High disposable income, again for consumer, we spoke about. Internet savvy, so it's good for everybody. People at every side, be it a consumer, be it a processor, be it a trader, who is the platform between the two of you to provide these products, all have become internet savvy. So you can fetch anything and everything, even get imported too, right? The different checklist and roadmap to start the industry. So coming to the checklist, like I said, what is the reason I'm coming to food processing industry? We get so many inquiries that my next generation is coming. We want to diversify. Paper industry is going down because digital is there. Nobody reads paper, nobody. So that is a norm. Now what do? We diversify in food because roti, kapda aur makan. Kapda nahi chala, makan nahi chala, roti chala. But what in roti? Everything sells. There is a pie. हर किसी को सबसे पहला प्रोडक्ट चाहिए, और पहला प्रोडक्ट के लिए पैसे भी नहीं करना है, सिटी भी चेंज नहीं करना है, रॉ मटेरियल भी प्रोक्योर नहीं करना, प्रोडक्ट पसंद भी नहीं आता है, लेकिन प्रॉफिट सबसे ऊपर कमाना. How it can happen? The investment level, you should be very clear what investment I am going to invest in a particular food processing industry. Even if it's a small investment, you should be clear, if I invest this quality of product will be made, and this only number of turnover I can do because my machine capacity is this. It's a limitation. You can work 24/7 for 25 days in a month, for 12 months at the max, not more than that. 25 ka 26 din ho jayega, but there is wear and tear, repair, maintenance, there is so many things happens, right? कभी रॉ मटेरियल नहीं ले पाओगे, फंड्स नहीं रहेगा, so many things. Are you willing to enter into industry which is a B2B product or a B2C product or both? Be very clear. A B2C product is something which is very different from B2B. B2B, it's bulk selling, but it should be reliable. B2C, it's cumbersome in sales, but then it takes time to become a brand. But when it becomes a brand, the brand valuation by itself is can go up to huge. There are a lot of private equity investors, a lot of angel funds who can invest if you have a good product, good idea, good academia background. They can support you. But you have to be very clear what you're catering to. Mass product, you are looking for something which is for masses, it has to be cheap. You cannot say a mass product can be expensive, no. But it can still have quality. Or you are catering to a product which is for a select few, which is a niche product or a kind of a semi-niche, I would say. But still you should understand it's either high volume, low ticket, or it's, you know, high price and low volume. You can have either of these two segments when you start evaluating yourself that what is that. Some say sir इसमें तो truckload ही नहीं है, ये business में products इतना बनते ही नहीं तो छोटा सा है. So we say it's a pearl like product, freeze drying, it's a small product, it is not in tons, but then the pricing of that is huge. What USP, what plus we are able to give. So we need to understand that if there is something value added, you can charge a price. If there is no validation, you have to go with the market rate. You start with the factory today, you put a price of the machine today, the steel price today, the labor price today, the construction cost today. So you're going to take time to recover that. Somebody who has already put 20 years back, 40 years back has already recovered. What problem statement we are trying to solve, or what convenience we are trying to give to consumer? Is there a problem statement? Yes, many industries have problem statements. We will share as we go. There are industries who do not want to process a particular fruit or a vegetable because it's cumbersome to buy, cumbersome to store, cumbersome to process, fluctuating rates, taste, texture, spoilage. Their core job is to make something else. Can you make something which becomes a raw material to them? Yes, doable. Or you go for something, you know, which is of your interest or passion. You can go for that. Convenience. Are you making life of a consumer easy? First, ready to eat, when we imagined, used to come in a mono carton with a aluminum foil. Today it comes in a container. You eat in the container, you throw the container. You do not have to worry about utensils. Guru mentioned, you know, in one of the session about Nata de Coco. There are companies from Thailand, Malaysia who makes this beverages wherein a knife comes to cut the glass through that Nata de Coco drink. It's in a glass with a foil. You cut that with that, you drink that. Today we have luck cap, we have crown cap, we have can, so many of them. But then that's a unique way. DRDO, Defense Research Development Organization, developed certain, you know, twistable spoons which are used in various products. That is a DRDO invention. Interest in the validation or cheap price I mentioned. R&D centric. We need to understand. I am making a product which anybody can make with the investment, with the amount, with the kind of space, or I am something who is evolving continuously, doing R&D. If I'm doing that, even if I'm a small investor, a small manufacturer, nobody can take that skill from me. Remember that. If I'm making a ready to eat, I am not the same as my neighbor who's making RTE in another city or state. No, the taste matters. It's like the cook, the chef. It's different from house to house. Similarly, it's the cook, the chef, the recipe at your factory will decide what uniqueness you bring. There are plethora of players in the spice industry. There are plethora of players in the RTE, even names which we have eaten and forgotten because the product was not good, not tastier. You can still do wonders at a late startup, late entrant into a ocean, which is again a red ocean, but with your recipe. But if you say you're making something which is raw, like a IQF, a peas or a corn, you are just another into a red game. Am I entering into a red ocean? Cutthroat competition, blood across, namkeen, cutthroat. But still, you need to understand, if you make tastier through R&D, you can win. Through investments with higher capacity, you can still get economics.
And taste is also very regional in this sector.
Absolutely. So what is eaten in South, what is eaten in North, what is eaten in East or West, totally varies. The same potato chip you buy and eat in down south, you'll realize how tastier it is. Eat coconut, drink coconut water there. A 10 rupee coconut water, we buy it 70 rupees here in north. The taste, it is much less sweeter than what we get there. Company like Natural Ice Cream, who make natural ice cream from coconut, understand their process. It's through natural, that's what they put the coconut meat, they put the milk, the technology is crazy. Subsidy through government or through some other agency, or no subsidy at all. So a choice is to you, how you want to proceed. Do your own SWOT analysis, my strength, my weakness, my opportunity, my threat, my past background in business or service, my family background, my relative strength. What is there which I can make use of or do not have? That is what will be different from the another player. Why that manufacturer is successful, why he is not successful, matters on a lot many factors. The raw material availability, you can either go to a site which has raw material available, because a fruit or a vegetable both have around 85 to 95% of water. You are transporting water, my dear friend. Don't pay for water transportation. Unless until there is a value addition you're doing, distance doesn't matter. There are technologies like freeze drying. The distance doesn't matter at all. The value addition is crazy. We'll cover that. The location of business, like I said, I am staying in a particular city. I'm in Koramangala, I'm in Delhi. I don't want to go 200 kilometers far away. Who will manage? You think somebody at a plant head as a plant manager will go and do a good show without you? Yes, but at a later date, till you have not worked for many days, have seen at the ground level, observed yourself, done crucial investigation, operations, seen their difficulty, understand what problems, what support your team needs, see what are the challenges at what they face in factory. After after having helped them, after making things on autopilot, then you can go for remotely managing. And for things which require R&D, you have to evolve yourself. You have to see what all things are happening in the world. Go attend exhibitions, trade shows. You'll get to see what is happening. Right hiring of the technical consultants who can do, don't, like I said, don't become your own doctor. See who can do justice, who can add value. Don't assume that the machine manufacturer is the consultant. Had he been there, he would have created companies. You ask people who have bought the machines and then check the feedback. We have seen that happening. So please don't go like that blindly. One of your friend has started a plant of a capacity. You go, okay, मैं भी वो पी का plant डाल देता हूँ रुद्रपुर में 5 ton capacity. अरे उसकी क्या advantage है? What is his strength? What is his weakness? Why has he put that in first place? It is not goddamn milk लिया अमूल मदर डेयरी बनासकांठा आपसे खरीद लेगा. नहीं, क्यों डाला उसने? क्या फायदा उसका? उसके क्या challenges है? The right technology. There are so many technology exist. What technology can help you? What is the technology which can last for 25 years?
Gaurav, we need to go a little bit fast.
The equipment balancing, the SKU size is what you're looking. Again, depends on B2B, B2C. Understanding of the cash credit business. Udhari dena padta hai mere business mein, nahi dena padta. That all matters. And you need to accept it, understand it. The channel of marketing, online, offline, omni-channel. The other roadmaps for starting a processing factory, fire zone, are you in water zone which has less water table, the environment clearance, the state pollution control board, NOC, the food license, the FSMS, the labor laws, please understand that. So I've covered some of the food products. I quickly run through this, which is based on the various fruits and vegetables available. So tomato, you can make many other products from it. Yeah. You can make. This is the beans in tomato sauce. You can make a paste. I have shown we can make freeze-dried tomato, dried tomato, diced tomato. Tomato bhi hota hai. Okay, there's a market for that also. Onion, one of the biggest dehydrated item which is sold, used in all food applications. Potato, you can have so many products which can be made out of potato. Similarly, mango, highest exported as a fruit. One of the fruits you have seen is mango pulp. Banana chips, big trend nowadays. People who are coming and entering into namkeen, even for those who are existing players, some of the people are manufacturing, doing contract jobs for others.
Banana
Papaya,
also has flour which is common now.
yeah,
Banana flour.
yeah. Banana flour is used for people going for porridges and for baby food, right? Similarly, if you go for papaya, there is papaya jam, jellies, freeze dried. There is tutti frutti. I have purposely colored it in green and red to make you understand. Tutti frutti is one of the biggest sold item. I have covered a couple of technology. I could not cover most. I have covered canning here. I have shown a lot of samples to you. So majority of the products which comes in the canning segment is broadly categorized into three. One which is in brine, which is saline water, salt water. One which is in sugar syrup. Okay. So I can show you, this is a sliced pineapple. This is a fruit cocktail. This goes into ice creams and various other, Horeca hotel restaurant catering people who buy these products. There is this cooked meals which go sarson ka saag, there is the meals which go into a can which one can always buy as a horeca buyer, as a consumer. Army defense, these are the big buyers of this. Tomato paste puree I've already covered. Canned food advantages, convenient to use. It aids in quick cooking for restaurant ice cream as ice cream parlor I mentioned. Retains taste and flavor, extended shelf life. Availability in off season wherein the raw material is not available, you still want to make a particular a mango shake, or you want to make and have an amras, or you want to have a cocktail using the cocktail fruit into ice creams. It's more transit friendly. Can be exported very easily, convenient. Can be used for all products including sweets. We have two different forms of cans available. So for those who have not seen, there is something which is called easy open, which is with a lid. You can open like this. There is something which is a normal can which requires a gadget. So this technology exists. One has to understand what can be made use of while we use a packaging. Preserving post-harvest of surplus fruit and vegetables. So mushrooms, a typical vegetable, if you understand, it is grown in-house, creating through a compost. Now you need to understand, if I'm not able to use or sell mushrooms, it starts reducing the water content, and its shape and size needs to get shriveled, reduced. What does a mushroom farmer do? He cannot do anything. He will go for brining. If you go for canning, he will go for freeze dry. That's how you eat pizza with the mushroom topping. That's freeze dried or a canned mushroom. That is where these things can be preserved or processed or saved. Otherwise, he has nothing but going down the drain. Food reserve for situations like pandemic. Canned is one of the very, very interesting items. So used by what segment? The army, navy, horeca, situations like war, camping goers, tourists, food for people in remote and climatic condition wherein they cannot have food in different form which can be preserved or stored. Can is easy, they can get heat easily, they can cook it and they can eat it. And container is also there in the can, you can still consume and throw. Look, imagine people who are in extreme North Pole or South Pole of the continent. A good import item. A brief market, I have covered what does the market exist and what is going to be by 2027 as expected number by $101 billion with a CAGR of 1.3%. A brief canning process I quickly run through. So we do washing, grading, sorting. We do cutting, slicing, blanching or cooking based on what form of food is there, hot filling, weighing, exhausting to remove the air. We do double seaming. Okay. Then we do washing, whatever pouring we have done. There is something which is overflowing the can has to be cleaned. Checking, retorting. Retorting and cooling is a shock to a product to help stop the enzymatic bacterial reaction, so that the shelf life what you get is because of this retorting and cooling combined. Incubation period, a period wherein you keep the product at your shelf for some time and see the can is not bloating, is not rusting, there is no leakage. That is incubation. That is what you should do as a processor before it is launched on the shelves of the dealer, distributor, or a retailer counter. The dehydration technique. So there is an array of dehydration technique which exists. So like I have categorically mentioned the products also. Onion, garlic, ginger, herbs are largely dehydrated in Mahua belt in Gujarat, and there are at least 104, 105 plus processors manufacturing this, largely exported to Horeca and countries abroad. This is not a household item to an extent, but also goes to B2B, to the namkeen savory seasoning company, manufactures those seasoning flavors, masalas for you, premixes for you. Okay. Drum drying technology, a technology which you might have not come across, but you will, quickly see now, because now even brands like Amul has started making this. Okay, so this will go to every other corner, which started from a problem statement. This was not the product. The product was, when one of our senior technologists started this, the product was instant dosa for a breakfast, which should become a national breakfast item. Of course, dosa cannot become a national item. It can only be a South Indian dish and an occasional drink for other states. Likewise, roti and rice. So this masala dosa required masala. For that requirement was potato. And that was the problem statement. How to get the instant roll. So there was a machine which could pipe out a hot piping dosa from a machine, not a man cooking dosa on a hot or a thick pan. No, there was a vending machine who could do that. That was invented by the founder of Big Fun Chewing Gum in Chennai, an IITian who started this company. And this product was supposed to be sold. Then came the problem, which was getting mashed potato. And because of that, a plant was set up, and the plant was supposed to make potato flakes. This is a 30-year-old packaging. You can see with the kind of graphics, this is that old. And what products one can make, this is the kind of products. Okay, so this is that old packaging. Various companies and various RTC which was developed, a lot of frozen products. Aloo bhujia, manufacturer like Bikaji International Foods in Bikaner was manufacturing aloo bhujia and Bikaneri bhujia. They require cumbersome process of buying potatoes in tonnage, storing, the affluent treatment plant, the foul smell which comes when you process a potato for chips or for lacha or for anything. That's not their product. The product is bhujia. So this product, after so much of intervening, trying to convince their karigars, cooks who never wanted the recipe to be tweaked or their job getting at risk, that was allowed. And today you'll not believe it's become a big industry now. Every other manufacturer. Similarly, coming to the products which are RTC, this uses this product. Your Pringles, which is called as prefabricated chips or fabricated chips, use this. Potato biscuit has come into Indian market. We have eaten, some of us have already eaten that. Pasta, we all know, this uses flakes in the premixes. A Maggi product, can you believe this? Extruded snacks using flakes as potato as an ingredient, not from potatoes, but potato flakes. So that is the market. Freeze drying, a new technology. A freeze drying is a technology which can give you a shelf life of 20 years. A freeze dried strawberry or a curry leaf, 20 years shelf life. So this is something which is a raw material for somebody who is making a masala or a noodle masala or a premix or using it in their RTE, RTC. Somebody spoke in one of the sessions, how do we eliminate the shelf life with getting the right ingredient into this? This is how you can reduce the water movement in a particular product. Then coming to spray drying. Spray drying is something which existed for long. Milk dried. So if I tell you milk is not processed throughout the year, you will be surprised. The milk is spray dried. One of the largest product which is spray dried is milk, tomato, and similarly other juices. So a lot of products which are freeze dried, spray dried are also having the market into the industry, which people are buying as a B2B or a B2C product. Spray drying, a lot of RTE, RTC based product premixes uses spray drying or as a finisher. Solar dried are the ones wherein you put those polyfilms and get the advantage of the natural sunlight to dehydrate the water out of the fruit or a vegetable. Normally this is used for getting some herbs dehydrated, some fruits or vegetable, or making the fruits vegetable dehydrated and go for candies like banana candy, aam papad, things like that. So you need cheap technology. This is one for them. Vacuum drying, a lot of buzzword is happening around vacuum drying or vacuum dehydration. Now this is something wherein again a drying happens under a vacuum environment, but then we add up seasoning to it and give it a different flavor, taste, texture. Beetroots, jackfruit in down south, huge volume of jackfruit is produced. Carrot, sweet potato, okra, these are the products one can eat, which is vacuum dried. Success factors for a promoter, he should have a pride in what he does. He should wear that respect and happiness that when I am running a company, he should wear his sleeve. I am proud that I'm manufacturer of this product. If he doesn't have conviction, doesn't have pride, he will never succeed. Feel good about the product. Can I get that product into my own house for consumption? Take constructive criticism. A lot of feedback. You go to Amazon, go and try to buy a product and see the reviews there. What
Gaurav, you need to hurry up a little bit.
So those feedbacks are important. The safety issue for employees. Consumer centric. Are the products consumer centric? Eye for detail. Involved in manufacturing. Quality consciousness. Value addition based manufacturing. Process and plant. It has to be state of the art. If you're trying to innovate or trying to distinguish yourself, or you become a Me Too category. Preventive, predictive maintenance, not a reactive or a post-mortem that after machine has gone wrong, then you look at from where to get the spare part. Staff engagement, you should have a processing industry which is 12 months, 300 days firing the chimney out of a factory. If not, how can you turn around whatever investments? You cannot. Hygienic, employee friendly. What pollution you are giving out from the factory through water and air. HACCP compliant. Water harvesting, solar power at a factory to help you reduce power usage. What water you are conserving because you are processing, washing, cleaning in a factory. Products, it should taste good. It should have a good texture. It should be consistent and reliable. It should have, your plant should be either single product based or multi-product based. Okay, you can have both options possible, but you choose one. एक product लेके processing करना है, tomato, potato, doable, onion, yes. Multi-product, go on technology which can do multiple products. Is there a practical packaging based on the logistics, the transit, the convenience, the usage of a consumer? What are the usage advantage in application? I told you the advantage of this on the go, in a car, in a flight, I can use this, have a sauce, ketchup, paste. This is the convenience. The pickle you get in a sachet, which is called a single shot in down south, it is one of the biggest sold item for those who cannot buy vegetable. They eat with rice. For those who are alcoholic, they use it as a chakna. It's a sale. In Bengal, you go, ask them what they buy. They eat this pickle. It's a fact. Look at stats. Guru is laughing. It's a fact. A continuous R&D. So this is what is required. Availability for a consumer, a right pricing, ease of use, storability, make cooking easier. Thank you.
Thank you, Gaurav. I must say it is a very exhaustive presentation, especially combined with all the examples and all the samples that you have shown. Had we known, I think we should have kept one complete session for you itself. But anyways, like how you said, these are some of the key hygiene factors that any entrepreneur needs to have and look at before even he gets into this, any of these sectors. And like you said, raw material prices in India is, anyone's guess, because we have, some examples of onion, like how we were talking, going up to 150 rupees per kilo. And just yesterday, one of the LinkedIn posts I saw, wherein after deducting the transportation and the Hamali cost, the farmer himself was supposed to pay 180 rupees to the, the trader.
So that's what the valuation should be high.
All these aspects, right. So all these aspects has to be kept in mind when an entrepreneur wants to get into, especially into fruits and vegetables processing, being market dependent and also being very quality conscious. So thank you, Gaurav. I'll hold on to you. When we have questions, I'll revert again. Next, I have Mr. Santosh Shankar. Santosh ji. Yeah, Santosh ji can talk about the various schemes and also how an entrepreneur can look at in the food and in the fruits and vegetable processing sector. Over to you, Santosh ji. Yeah, Santosh ji, we can start.
Thanks to everyone who has joined this webinar. And I would like to thanks to Mr. Gaurav, who has covered all the points. related to the food processing, uh, new setup, and for those who are in this business who wish to extend their units. Uh, First of all, I would like to say some things. Why we need to set the food industries? Why it is our requirement? So one thing I want to clear, we need processed food, or we need to set up industry.
Santoshi, your video is off.
Just a sec. Now it's okay.
We're able to see you now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to set a food industry because there is a convenient to handle the processed food we need every time in our life, and it is also needed to set a balanced price of the market, because if we set the food processing unit somewhere, it preserve the fruits and vegetables like that, and its rate and price will remain or unchanged throughout the season or throughout the year. So in context of that, Ministry of Food Processing has given so many support to the investors and farmers. Like there is a one scheme, PMFME. It is last year launched, and which is basically for the micro food processors, and somehow it covers to the also that small food processors, and there is some scheme which is for the that medium sectors, and above that there is some scheme which is for the large uh, manufacturer, which is KSY. It is Prime Minister of Kisan Samta Yojana, and it is doing very well. And apart from that, there are some that also schemes which is for the common infrastructures, and which is um, for the that you can say it is for the FPOs, those who are farmer producing organizations, and for some self-help groups. So these are some schemes which covers to all applicants and to all farmers where we need the subsidy. The subsidy, it is like that the government has given. It is a credit link subsidy. It starts from 25 to 35%, and for the some hilly states, it is up to the 50%. Ministry of Food Processing is giving. Then, so why we require this, and these are, we can say, it's a government schemes, and government, apart from government scheme, what we benefit, there are some additional benefit we are getting right now. There is a one additional that benefit we are giving. Its name is AIF. AIF is giving, apart from subsidy, 6% interest subsidy. What amount of loan we are taking from the bank, one time subsidy will be adjusted, but your interest will be continuous. And the interest, it's up to the loan amount. It will be the it will in the amount of lakh rupees. If you calculate at the rate of 6%, it will be very that you can say very beneficial to the investors, and it will down the burden of liabilities, economic liabilities, you can say. And government has also giving for the branding. There are some schemes, especially there is clearly written you can get the subsidy on your product branding, because branding nowadays it is very compulsory branding. If you decide to launch any product, you have to basically plan from launching to the that commercial production, because you have to hit also your launching program. Otherwise, the further program will be like that. It will be. It is very commonly seen for any that you can say nowadays the all movies are having their launching program. So this is a kind of branding. If we uh, if we lose our a little bit that planning here, so our there is a chance of that unless uh, you can say the success of product, because launching time is a that you can say it is a very that main time where you can hit your product to the market in front of the that your
So what is the
you can
subsidy
say
in
it is
branding?
branding. Pardon?
So how much subsidy can they get in branding? How much subsidy can
Branding,
they get
yeah,
for branding?
branding. It is the same. It is 25 to 35. Somewhere it is up to the 50%, and it is it's a depend that up to the project cost, whatever your that need and others. So maximum you can say it is up to the 50%. And second is branding after, if you want to set your that R&D research. So government is also giving for that purpose. You set your own labs. You take you put some technical person, and you put some that machines. It's all including that. You can present your project if you want to put your own lab. Apart from that, government is
All
also
these are part
giving
of PMFME scheme, is it? Or different schemes?
no. It is in the PMFME, and also in the that it is separate also. You can that apply for the separately. And government is also giving that support or schemes they have, like if you want to create some common infrastructure. Suppose you want to uh, make a factory, mango pulping, because want to pulp it and we want to pack it. Suppose, hello, suppose
Yeah,
we
yeah.
want to
Your voice was breaking in between.
okay. Suppose we want to set a common infrastructure for the mango pulping. So it is you have to that agreement with the government, because you will not sell anything like that. You have to purchase. You have to agreement with the farmers, and You will not do anything beyond that. So government is giving a good subsidy on the common infrastructures. It is right now, it is very increasing this that concept. And if we say what are how we have to that select what we should do and what type of product we have to produce or we have to make in our factory. So some basic I have, but already Mr. Gaurav has covered these things. There are two or three, four lines. I have to join in this. First, you select what are the availability of the products nearby you, and what you can value what you can do the value addition in that product. There are two things. There are some products which are found in the market, mostly factories and mostly manufacturers are selling. But these products have very less margin. If you want to set your own price, if you want to compete, if you would not want to compete to others, you have to select your own product, which is not available in the market and which is health wise, it is very good to the peoples. Nowadays, there are some innovative products are that going on research. Already, uh, most of the factories they have now started to launch their products. So we need to try. There are some basic products like we can give some herbal blended product right now. Right now, mostly traditional products are coming in the market. So how we can blend some, how we can give some herbal touch to them, so that we can set our price and we can get the more benefit. These are some concepts to go in the food processing sector. Otherwise, we will have to face the so many challenges which are in the market. So suppose
Santoshji, another
okay.
2-3 minutes.
Okay. Now in the 2-3 minutes, I will finish my that topics. And the second thing is we have to choose what type of technologies are mostly adopting by the investors. So I want to say there are 2 or 3 technologies which are very fastly adopting by the investors. There is one, dehydration, and second is the freezing technology, or we can say in the very easy form, it is in the frozen form. So 2 products, dehydrated product and the frozen products. Because dehydrated products are very convenient to the carry, and its a shelf life has much more than other moisturized product, and it is our need, and its need is day by day increasing in the market. And second is that frozen product, and it's a IQF, and that cold chain process is very that you can say it is technology proof, and there is a less chance of spoilage of the product. That's why the margin of benefit is more than other technology. So these are some things that before to start the food business, we have to focus on this so that the maximum risk of the that failure which we have to before that calculate. So this is the things where we can start our food processing business, and in the food processing line we can do the tremendous that our growth which is year wise we are seeing, and it is data of the government, and every year 10% to 15% growth has been seen very clearly in the market. So I would like to appeal to all the joint members to come in this business so that we can increase our economic growth, and we can gain the benefit of the business.
Sure.
Okay,
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Santosh ji. I think we have a few questions regarding AIF and other benefits and schemes that you told, but due to the shortage of time, I will move over to our next speaker because he is also joined in, Mr. Ramesh Mittal, who is the president of NIAM and NABI as well, and he is also, his organizations have also been a part of this webinar. So I would want Mr. Ramesh Mittal to quickly go through this entire fruits and vegetable processing due to the shortage of time. Sorry about that. And give the audience an overview of this sector. Over to you, Ramesh ji.
Okay, thank you. I'm audible?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Okay. And I think I'm going to have 10 minutes or more.
Yeah, about 10 to 12 minutes, sir.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So first of all, I would like to express my gratitude to be a part of this Food Pro Summit. It's a great summit, and I could see like more than 100 participants are already joined this program, and it's going on. It's a very nice topic. Basically, it's a upcoming area, if you say. A lot of potential is there. So before I start, let me give you my introduction. I'm Dr. Ramesh Mittal. I'm director, CCS, National Institute of Agricultural Marketing, which is part of Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. And it's a like 35-year-old organization, and it is set up based on the recommendation of FAO. And the inception report was prepared by IIM Ahmedabad. It is Center for Excellence not only in India, even in Southeast Asia. And it is the only organization, especially if I say like the agriculture marketing, which is addressed by in the country, even in Southeast Asia. The mandate is basically research, training, consultancy, education, and policy advocacy. And we do across the country. And stakeholders like marketing boards and Department of Agriculture, industries, and all kind of stuff, if you say. And our flagship program, which is postgraduate diploma in agribusiness management, the students are placed very well in the all kind of industry, which includes the input industry, food processing industry. So we people are in touch, and we are doing the consultancy also and doing research work in this sector. So the topic which is given to me, which is a great topic, and I already lived in the USA, worked as a marketing professional, 6 years, traveled more than 30 countries to know about the food processing industry. So let me tell you, like 25 years, 30 years, I'm just visiting and moving here and there. So I could able to express, the kind of need which exists in this country. So if we talk about this food processing industry, in India, it is in very nascent stage, if you say. We have not started yet. If you ask me, we have not started yet. 25 years ago, when I visited USA, I could see, the more than 100 type of breads, more than, 500 type of cheese, milk. I'm just talking about the dairy industry. And if you talk about like the meat industry and the kind of, seafood or the kind of other kind of food, it's like the full of market is full of, like you talk about the small quantity, big quantity, whatever you say, something like that. So the potential of the fruit and vegetable, especially in processing, is pretty high. Why it is so? If you look at the India is very traditional country. Now it is growing a little bit. I'll give you the example of this microwave. Microwave is a small instrument which can be used for the processing purpose. But if you look at this like microwave, which is not a good instrument for India, I can say something like that. So this gives you the like example. Yeah, please. I'm sorry. So this gives you the example like how we people are working, and the market is required lot of boost. So the market is available as a ready to eat, ready to cook, and most of the things are available. So my submission is let us talk about the organic, non-organic. Now we people are talking about the organic food. Now organic without knowing which food is required as a organic. I mean, where we should put the focus. We people are thinking all should be organic. It's not like that. Let me give you the example, like small cardamom. Directly we people are consuming, but banana we are not. Oranges we are not. First you have to peel. So some fruits we need to peel. Then after that we people are consuming. So we need to fix the priority by which should be the organic, which should not be the right now. I mean the second phase, third phase, something like that. Such kind of strategy is not there. Number one. Number two, like table fruit and table vegetables. This concept is not, people are not aware. For example, pineapple. Pineapple is not a table fruit. If you want to increase the consumption of pineapple, then you have to go for the table size of the pineapples. Otherwise, it is a big. So people are not buying. So the processing is not available. Small machines are not available. I visited Thailand, where I've seen in this the Tasco, which is supermarket, and you can see the very small machine. You just insert the pineapple one side, and second side, it is coming out with the, after the peeling, slice are available. So by paying 10 baht or 20 baht or 30 baht, you can have 1 kg or 2 kg pineapple. But that kind of small processing activities are not available. Even machines are not available. So the processing, if you want to address in the right manner, I believe such kind of processing is required. Look at this coconuts. Now, if you go to the market, you will not find a single machine which can break the shell of coconut. Like APMC markets and the different kind of markets you visit anywhere. Mostly people, they are buying and they are coming to their home, and after that they are struggling and they are not able to crack the shell of the coconut. And they ask the shopkeeper, you can take 5 rupees more or 10 rupees more, please crack the shell. But that kind of technology or that kind of machines is not available. So, fortunately or maybe unfortunately, we people are not able to address the right kind of processing word. For us, processing means is like mid-size industry or maybe the bigger size industry. That is also right. But the thing is, simultaneously, if you want to grab the market share, you have to understand what do you mean by processing. Now, people are making achar and some kind of murabba in the house, and they are thinking that is the only processing. Look at example is radish or carrots. Dice and cuts radish and carrots are not available in the market. If you want to consume, big market. Look at the example of peas, green peas. Those are available. People are buying. Now look at the cost also. If you are buying such kind of peas from the market itself, so without peel, the peas are available at the rate of 100 rupees per kg. But after peel, the rate is somewhere like maybe 70 rupees per kg. 120 rupees per kg. So it is little 20 or 30 rupees more. But if you look at the weight, you are getting more than 50%. after peeling. So such kind of economics exists in the market. Second is now the processed food market, for example, this garlic powder, this turmeric powder. Now the thing is basically when we process, then people are not able to retain the kind of value which exists in that product. For example, if you look at all kind of masala like spices, when in the process of when people are making this powder and all, mostly oil is not there because the technology is like grinding, which is hot grinding. So you people are eating, I mean we people are eating, but it is just like a garbage, nothing else, because that essential oil is not there. Anything, I mean you talk about the anything, I'm not saying like the flowers. So the aroma, like different kind of flowers are available. As soon as temperature is growing, the aroma is not there, like the fragrance is not there. So such kind of right kind of processing unit. Now look at the cold press machines are available in the market. Now the cold press machines, now it is becoming very popular. Why it is so? Why they are the cold press machines are getting popular? So cold press machine is able to give you a lot of I should say the kind of value in the product. So the in the market, like certain type of fruits and vegetables are available without changing the shape, like they are not peeled, they are not cut, they are not diced. So if we think about that the market is quite big. Second is like this, we people are not using the garlic powder, the onion powder, this what do you say, this ginger powder, something like that. Why it is so? Because we feel it is not fresh, it is not full of aroma, it is not full of the merits. The why it is so? Because the kind of machines, maybe it is not available, or maybe we people are not knowing the kind of machines what we should use. Even look at simple technology which is available for this. I'll give you the example of this tomato puree. Now my experience, let me share here. Almost 15 years ago, I have seen world biggest tomato puree processing plant in US. And let me give you the plant name. The plant company name is Morning Star. That is the worldwide only company which is supplying to this Kraft or Nestle or all kind of people. And they have that technology, they have that processing unit where they can preserve properly. And that is, in the vacuum bags, the plastic vacuum bags where you can keep such puree at least for the 1 year or maybe more than 1 year. So such kind of technology is required. And all kind of ketchup and sauces and all stuff which is made by that puree only. And we people are thinking, they are buying fresh tomatoes, but they are not buying fresh tomatoes. So such kind of processing is required. Now, let me tell you, when I visited Japan, I have seen there is a variety of tomato which has more than 10% sugar content. And the price is, that is 3,000 yen per kg. Especially the people are using as a preservative. I mean, there is no use, there's no need to have such preservative for that. As a sugar, they are not adding any sugar, and the sugar content itself is so high. So they are making. So such kind of products are required. For example, look at this drying facilities now, solar dryers. So people are using these solar dryers, but unfortunately, it's not the scientific method. So sometimes we people are losing the shape. Sometimes people are losing the color. Sometimes we are losing the taste also. So there is no point to sell in the market. So the commercial viability must be with that process only. Sometimes if you look at, now I'll give you the very simple example. But if packaging so poor, the people are not using this zipper bag. It's only sealed bag. Once you have cut it, the kind of aroma and everything will be out. So simply what we people are using, we are using just garbage. Now look at the chili, red chili. The pungency exists because of the oil. And if you don't have oil in that powder, chili powder, there is no use. So such things we need to understand. And sometimes, like for example, papaya. Now papaya, earlier if you look at the papaya size was pretty big. And now look at this, the family size is right now say 2 to 3%. So we used to afraid when we buy papaya from the market, who will eat? So we try to find out the small papayas, which is known as a table fruit. So table fruit demand has shoot up. Even for watermelon, if you look at the small watermelons are coming. Why it is so? Because if you want to avoid the contamination, if you want to consume the fresh, if you want to have tasty fruits and vegetable in front of you, you know why cherry tomato has come? No need to cut. Simple, you can eat. So due to this COVID also, in the processing industry, the biggest danger is to contamination. For example, this pineapple, canned pineapple. Suppose it is little bit, some contamination is in that. Very fast, you will have the food poisoning. So such fruits are very, very delicate. And we need to understand. And the processing is basically until unless, like I remember in USA, like hamburger or many kind of, the meat related patties were available, but they were not properly, when they were serving, they were not properly cooked. And that is why this many kind of virus has been spread and people died. So the particular temperature is required when you are reheating or, again warming up or making hot or something like that. So that is again a part of our literacy, how to cook this processed food, how to use it. If you look at this, newspaper clips, the cancer patients are increasing. Why it is so? It is not because of the food processing industry. It is because of the kind of label, the proper label has been not used. The kind of literacy is not has been, given to the user. So sometimes they are consuming in a different way, and the reason is that they end up with many kind of diseases or maybe the food poisoning or something like that. So when we are moving towards such sector, it requires a lot of SOPs, standard operating procedures. And for that, we need to educate our consumer. We need to tell them like how to eat, how to cook, and how to preserve. Now look at this, the industry which is growing like anything. Look at this airlines. Now airlines at the height of 35,000 square feet, they are serving, ready to eat food by putting just hot water. If you want to have dal chawal, they are just adding hot water and it is ready to serve within 8 minutes. If you have noodles, now noodles is very quite common. If you want poha, if you want upma, so such things are available. But the issue is basically it is some sensitive, this is some sensitive issues also. So we need to create awareness. The processing should be done properly, and the kind of instructions must be printed. Like for example, the dal chawal you are getting, and no one is telling you eat after 8 minutes or maybe 10 minutes. Immediately that air hostess has served you, and within 2 minutes you have started eating. Now what could be the perception? The perception is basically it is waste. I should not buy. It is useless. So these are the challenges for the food processing industry. Not challenges.
Have 1 more minute.
Yeah. So the thing is basically now India has, big country where different kind of buyers, different kind of purchasing power parity. And based on that, we people are lucky enough, we have very diversified market. I mean, 1 rupee per kg people are ready to buy, and 1,000 rupees per kg people are ready to buy. So we need to identify proper market for that. And for the processed food, yes, we need to have proper packaging also with the all kind of instructions. For example, the potato chips market. It is a big market. You can sell potato chips at the rate of 50 rupees per kg, and you can sell potato chips at the rate of 1000 rupees per kg. It is up to you which customer you want to target and what kind of potato you have purchased, whether it is a chips one variety, it's an ordinary type of potato, and how you are processing. It is very easy to say the 20 rupees per kg potato and people are selling at the rate of 600-700 rupees per kg. It is very easy to say, but if you look at the plant cost, if you look at the branding cost, many kind of things are available, and that is why people like. Many multinational companies are, serving with a great brand and they are charging too much money, but simultaneously they are serving to the. Now look at I'll give you the example of pizza. You may be in a hurry. You ask, I need pizza within 10 minutes. They'll say, no, will not serve you. Why it is so? If they serve that pizza within 10 minutes, I am very sure you will not like. And you will defame that pizza. Why it is so? Because it requires at least 30 to 35 minutes to well cook. So such kind of practice is also required to promote. Otherwise, market potential is too high for anything. Like, look at salt. I'll give you the example of salt. This processing industry now these days, this Senda namak, this black salt, this pink salt, this Himalayan salt, the very different kind of varieties available in the market. And why it has happened? It has happened because of the processing industry. So we should praise the processing industry, but simultaneously we have to get the right kind of equipments, plants, and the trained worker also. And all kind of quality marks are also required. For example, sometimes egg mark or various kind of marks are available in the quality marks. I'm trying to say the quality marks are required. And how you can win the confidence of your consumer or customer. If like we people are encouraging this startups and all kind of stuff, but unfortunately startups are not able to give you quality marks, and that is why they are not able to grab the market. I am also, in this startup and incubation system, more than 500 startups we have already developed. We people are putting our 100% focus to get the right kind of technology to process the product. Then packaging, which is user-friendly, eco-friendly packaging is required. Then branding. And then we people are saying, the positioning, targeting, and penetration also. You need to identify right kind of customer. Everything is not for everyone. You need to identify. Like Shahi Jeera, which is coming from the Kashmir. All India, they cannot afford. Some people can. So that kind of strategy is required. So with these words, I would like to, stop myself here, and I'm ready to take any kind of question if anybody is willing. And thank you for this.
Thank you, Ramesh ji. Also, it was very brief but very informative. I think we are actually out of time, and this happens in most of the sessions where we do food and beverage. We generally have so much of information to give, and also there is a lot of audience participation as well. One question I think maybe first Gaurav can take, and then Ramesh ji can add to it. How does one look at building his own brand in B2C?
Yeah, so for branding, one thing, which is very important is for going digital. So apart from having a good social handle, which is say Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, one should also have a good website through which, anybody who is able to launch his or her product can be put across. And there are a lot of hashtags and a lot of @ you can figure out that. Also, you need to understand that the product ultimately has to have a good taste, texture, and packaging. So if we are doing these two things right, one is also able to do. Of course, there is the advanced side of it, which includes influencer marketing, which includes paid ad through Google AdWords, SEO, SEM. So that exists. But then, yes, depends on the budget in the pocket of an investor.
Right. And also, I think being part of most of these, exhibitions and
trade fairs, expos, having a store,
expos, and all, yeah.
But then that costs money, so not every startup is always ready. But then yes, that is the best part, because you get to exchange cards. You get to exchange buyer seller, get to share their product sampling and so many stuff. Attend Gulf Food Fair, attend Anuga in Germany, attend fairs in down south, in Bangalore, in Surat, Ahmedabad. Bombay. So
Right.
we have so many fairs happening in India alone now.
Right. Yeah, thank you. Rameshji, your thoughts on it, on how to build a brand?
Yeah, right. My feeling is brand is nothing, but the thing is, what people carry. So the core competency, we should always remember the core competency of the product. So first is like the taste, and second is like the process, the kind of process, like whatever is the tagline, whatever is what people are like committing for that. I'm saying, this is like organic, so it must be organic. I'm saying, it has some kind of calories on the label. It should be true. I'm saying, it is good for health. And we have not used anything like it is vegetarian or maybe vegan. So such kind of trust building exercise is required to build a brand. Then no doubt for the taste marketing, like we have to move by using this fairs. And let us take the example of this kiwi fruit. If you look at the 10 years ago, India was not knowing what is kiwi. The credit goes to this Jasper company. You know what they have done? It various places they have put up their stall canopy. They very nicely they have peeled and cutted this kiwis, and which is available in the plate by putting the toothpick. People were coming and they were just testing the kiwi taste. Yes, something miracle, like something good and very unique. Now how you people are moving, then slowly the price is coming down. So it is not only you have chosen the logo, you have one motto and you have one tagline, and you are putting a lot of money and you are saying my product is very good and throwing a lot of money, moving here and there, and rushing here and there. It is not the way to create a brand. Your product merits are also involved. And if you are not able to justify your product, it cannot help you to create the brand. Now look at the Tata Sampoorna. That brand, why people are rushing towards? Because ethics are involved. Whatever they are saying, people are believing in that. So such kind of belief is also required. Then again, the social media or the kind of, advertisement fund and whatever you have, that is something different. I'm not saying for that. If you are from the small scale industry, then you may have some little fund for that. And if you have medium size or big size, then again, the fund is big. So creation of brand is a big exercise, no doubt about it. Based on your capacity, you can go for it, but don't forget to look into it to your other merits and trust building exercise also. That's from my side.
Yeah. Thank you, Rameshji, and thank you, Gaurav. Thank you, Santoshji, for being part of this session. We have overshot the time limit already. Thank you, participants, once again for being patient with us. I'm sure this last 90 minutes have been very informative. I would like to reiterate that tomorrow's 2 sessions will be on plant-based proteins, and also on the second session will be on millet-based organic foods. So do join in at the same times as of today. I'm sure we'll have a lot more to learn. With that, I would like to personally thank Mr. Gaurav Garg, Mr. Santosh, and Mr. Ramesh Mittal for taking time off their busy schedule and trying to help the entrepreneurs and also existing food industries with this amazing knowledge that they have gained over the past so many years, and being benevolent enough to share it with the entire audience. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again.
Thank you for having us here, Guru Prasad.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you. Namaskar. Thank you.